Hi everybody, this is Boogest Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new NECA Ultimate Universal Monsters The Invisible Man figure. So before we take a look at the Invisible Man, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with a set of fisted hands. These are the wrapped hands. Up next, he comes with a set of open hands for holding his textbook, and this looks really nice on the inside. NECA did a really good job on this. I really like the way this book looks. Up next, he comes with an alternate right hand. It has a looser grip so you can get the cup with the straw in it. I want to say this is the Monocane, if I remember right. But yeah, this looks really good. Another really awesome accessory for this figure. Before I switch to his next set of hands, I wanted to see how the disappearing Marty hand looked on him. And that looks very, very awesome. That translucent plastic looks great. It is kind of loose. It will pop out really easily, but it does fit in there, so you can definitely get some cool pictures out of that. Up next, he comes with a set of gloved hands, and this looks very nice. The texturing to the gloves and the wash of dark brown over the light brown looks very nice. And this is a very loose grip. If you want to get the book in his hands, you can. You just have to kind of get it in like that, and it stays pretty tight. You might stretch this hand out if you put the cup with the straw in it. You could do that, but I don't want to stretch this hand out too much. Up next, you get this bandaged head sculpt with the little tufts of hair hanging out of it. I think that looks very nice. And the goggles and the nose on this one are attached. It's all one piece, but this is a very nice head sculpt. Up next, you get this bandaged head sculpt, but this time it doesn't have the goggles or the nose on it, and the hair is a little crazier hanging out of the top there. I don't know if it's intentional, but my Invisible Man came with 3 noses. I thought it was only supposed to come with 1, and all of these are exactly the same. You don't get any sort of peg on the back. I think it would have been nice if there would have been a peg, that way you could peg the nose into this head sculpt. I think that would have been really nice. But yeah, these don't peg in, and I have 3 of them, when I think there was only supposed to be 1. Up next, he comes with this half unwrapped head sculpt, and this looks great. I love the way that NECA did this. But because of the way they did this, you won't be able to get this sitting on the peg properly. Because once you do that, because of the way it's made, it's 2 separate pieces, and it's glued up inside this top piece. So anytime you try to push it in to actually get it to stay, it won't. It'll just be loose in there. I mean, it stays well enough, but I do think it's a good idea, but the execution was just a little bit flawed. Other than that, though, this head sculpt looks amazing. You get these goggles that you can take off of the figure. I think that's really awesome that they included these goggles, so if you wanted to take these off, you could. And finally, he comes with his wig here. And this looks really nice. The hair on it's sculpted really nicely, and it has some paint variation to it. So yeah, this is a really cool accessory. So now let's go ahead and take a closer look at the rest of the Invisible Man. The suit on this figure looks very, very nice. It's done in a nice pliable material, and it has some really good sculpt detail to it, and some nice blue paint to it. That looks really good. The blue over those wrinkles looks very, very nice. NECA did an awesome job on that. There's the back of the figure. Even the pants are sculpted really nicely. Mine has little gloss places in it, though. Like here on the side, I noticed there was gloss right here. There's some gloss right here. And some gloss right here. There are just some little tiny flecks of gloss in the paint, and that's just a little bit weird to me. And then there you have his shoes. This is a very nice looking figure, and I'm hoping NECA does the version in the robe. I really want that version too. I figure we'll probably get that version next. So now let's go ahead and go over his articulation. Both of these head sculpts have the same type of ball joint up in the head that connects to a ball joint down in the neck down here. So he can look up very slightly. He can look down very slightly. If you force it anymore, you're going to make that peg loose and it'll pop off. You can move his head side to side. He has shoulders that can only move out that far. I do wish they could move out just a little more. He has single jointed elbows that can bend in that far. He has a swivel at the wrist that moves side to side, and that's it for these gloved hands. And on these other hands, you have the normal swivel that moves up and down and side to side. He has a ball jointed diaphragm that can move back just a little bit. He can crunch forward a nice bit, but then you can see the tie and the suit here are bunching up. Can move side to side. He has hips that can only move out that far. He can kick forward that far, back very slightly. He has a swivel at the thigh that is very slight. He has single jointed knees, swivel the ankle that can't move down at all, can move up very slightly, and an ankle rocker. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to Frankenstein. Here he is next to the Wolfman. And finally, there he is next to the Mummy. So overall, this is another really cool Universal Monsters figure. I really didn't expect that I'd find this. I actually didn't know this was even out yet. But yeah, NECA did a really good job on this. The only real complaint that I had with this figure is that the one head sculpt, the way it looks great. The execution was a little bit flawed because you won't actually get it to peg in all the way unless you force it. And then I could see that piece ripping off if you force it. It already bends as is, so if you force it, you could definitely break it. So aside from that, this is another really awesome Universal Monsters figure from NECA. Definitely pick this up. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.